Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 2022 Winter Solstice reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will come with a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let us ask God, Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, to bless us, to move us forward in healing, loving peace, keeping all that is hateful and hurt from us. So let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of during this winter solstice. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, then this is also the summer solstice. Oh, that's very funny. So we have the Chariot coming forward, Cancer, and we are represented by the Chariot in the major arcana. So we have to be mindful of, during this time, getting in our own way and self-sabotaging. So just be aware of this. Also, we can also be a little bit too emotional, a little bit too deeply hit by things. It can make it a lot harder for us because we feel so emotionally invested in everything. Let's see the energy that Spirit wants us to focus on. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have faith. Faith in ourselves, faith in our dreams, faith in the way that we're moving forward, spiritual faith, personal faith, a connection with the world, a connection with ourselves. That's going to be very, very important for us and very positive and beautiful. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So we have the Magician, we have the Fool, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Devil, amplifying the Capricorn energy because Capricorn is also represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana. So what's very interesting about the winter solstice is it falls on the last day of Sagittarius and the beginning of Capricorn. So what we're going to see here is that we're moving into very strong Capricorn energy. And this is the longest night of the year. This is the night where the sun actually stands still for just a little tiny bit. And as we move into Capricorn, this brings our focus to career, success, ambition, tradition, and our life purpose. So that energy is coming through very, very powerfully for us. Now, because the moon is opposite Mars in Gemini, and this makes us very introspective in dealing with the past. This is amplifying. This is adding to our introspection, our dealing with the past, and that comes forward in this Capricorn energy that we see right here. There's a real sense of, I'm looking at my addictions. I'm looking at the things that I can become obsessed with, or the things that become out of hand that just take over my life. It doesn't mean that it has to be alcohol or, drugs or sex or food or anything like that. It can be being untidy. It can be being too rigid, being too tidy. It can be anything that's taken to an extreme. So being aware of that is going to be highly beneficial for us. We like our feet firmly planted on the ground here, Cancer, which is funny because Capricorn is our sister energy. Either we're going to do fantastic in this energy, or it brings out everything that irks us. We actually do really, really well. So that's really quite beautiful. We have the Magician. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is telling us to stand in our power, to stand in who we are and what we want and what we desire. And we're starting to see ourselves stand forward and say, this is where I want to be. This is what I desire for myself. This is how I'm moving forward. This is where I'm going to be for me. And the Fool is we're taking a risk. As we're standing before the altar of our existence, saying, this is what I need, we're taking that risk on ourselves. We need a bit of an adventure. We need a way to move forward. It doesn't mean that we have to change everything up, which can be what we're very inclined to do. What it does mean is that I need to express myself. I need to, change things up a little bit here and there and see what happens. I need to be free. The Page of Pentacles is us being a student of our prosperity, of our desires, of our wants, of our needs. The winter solstice is a time of rest and reflection. It is a time that causes us to look at our shadow self. And we start to see that what we're uncomfortable with, what we want to hide away, what we think is completely unacceptable for, public consumption, we're going to start to see how we bring a bit of that shadow self into the arena with ourselves. Maybe not all at once, but we start to say, you know what? Instead of saying, I can't ever get angry, it's like, I have to control my temper, yes, for, to be part of society, but I also can stand up for myself and can advocate for myself. All right, I should be orderly, but I also need to embrace creativity and a bit of chaos. So we're going to see anything taken to an extreme. It's not going to be good for us, but we're also going to see that we're playing with balance here, which I think is very funny as, the solstice happens on the 21st of December, which is Sagittarius time frame, the last day. And that's all about balance, temperance, finding the balance. We're finding the balance within ourselves. To be assertive and whimsical, to be powerful and to be meek. And we're seeing, what does that mean for us and how do we move forward? There's a sense that we need something new. We need something beautiful. We need something creative. We need something powerful in our lives. And this is going to be a time that we start going after it. This is a great time for us to look at different avenues, different lessons to learn, different, courses to take to enhance our career. To say, I'm going to add something new into this. I'm going to add something completely different into this. And it brings us to this place where we start to see where all the ties are tied around us, where we've been held back, where we've been denying ourselves, where we've been, questioning our own existence and what we want and what we need and our own escapism. And we're starting to see ourselves say, you know what, I can move forward from this. It's very funny because the devil is a conglomeration of all the chaos gods, of all the nature gods. Nature cannot be controlled. It can be, it can be brought to submission, but it always has to be tended to. I always think of the gardens of Versailles, right? Or any of those immaculately kept gardens. They take a heck of a lot of work and a heck of a lot of people to keep them up. And this is saying, what if things happen naturally? Like, we pulled out the weeds, yeah, but what if we see what grew? What if we see what happens? Now we fall into chaos. But in order to chaos is something that is very powerful. And there's something very beautiful to it. Subconsciously, we have the Knight of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Right? We have the moon opposite, Mars and Gemini coming forward. So here, the Knight of Swords can be astoundingly impetuous. So we have to be mindful of that, which Spirit is already telling us to be mindful of. But we're cutting through a lot of doubts and fears. And once we deal with or look at the impetuousness that can come from, wanting to be in control of our own stories, we start to say, well, what do I want for my life? Where do I need to be? How am I unfolding? How am I moving forward? What is it that I desire? And then the Knight of Swords becomes very focused. I always think of the Night Circus and the Knight of Swords when that card comes up and he takes control of his destiny. And that's what it is. Like, think about it. Don't act rashly because this is a big decision. But now you're taking control of your destiny. Now you're slaying the dragon. Now you're ascending the tower. Now you're waking the part of yourself that has been asleep for a very long time, the princess. And now you're stepping into your power. And that's a beautiful thing. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, the Queen of Swords. We can have a tendency to think during this time that people who are really blunt, who are really straightforward, who have a tendency, okay, it's not just blunt and straightforward, but have a tendency to be cruel with their words. All right, will tell us things that other people won't because it's not polite, it's not nice, and what the heck is wrong with you? This is a person who oversteps their boundaries. But we're going to think, oh, well, they really care. They're going to tell me things that nobody else is, or they're going to be forthright and assertive, and that's what I should be like. Just be mindful about this, because this person isn't here to make you feel better about yourself. This person is to go after what they want in life. Our subconscious, oh, I love it. Our subconscious message from Spirit is fairy tales. It's time to connect with the fairy tales. Not the Disney fairy tales, but if that's what you like, go for it. But the original fairy tales. It's time to see the beauty and the harshness in the world. And you might be saying, Dane, I see that quite enough. Thank you. But there's something here in honoring those stories so that we can honor our own stories. Life isn't all black and white. White page, black print, it has to be so. There's myriads of gray that make up the shading that make up art. There's a sense here of, I need to connect with my own fairy tales, with the stories I loved as a child, with my own whimsy. That'll be very important to you. Pick up a book that you loved when you were little. Doesn't matter if it's Cinderella or something that people deem more sophisticated. What if it's Winnie the Pooh? Go for it. And just try to connect with that joy again. They're fairy tales. They're stories. And the stories are important. We tend to forget the power of stories, and yet that's all we are the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories of our history, the stories of us. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this winter solstice and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer. And may blessings and prosperity always be with you. Happy winter solstice, and God bless.